Can we make one working camcorder out of two broken ones? We'll find out. That is our victim for parts for this. This one is a mess, and I did not pay a lot for this because, as was described, boom, this was completely broken off. It's cracked on this side here, so I did a quick test. I don't have a display on this whatsoever. This panel seems to be a little looser than I would like it to be, but the thing of it is that, you know, it's in good cosmetic condition. Now, we have no display. I don't know if it's because of the viewfinder, similar to how the audio is. If you have this front cap off and not plugged in, there's a headphone jack up here where the audio travels through this circuitry back into the camcorder and out of the speaker here. If you have this front cap off and disconnected, you're not going to get audio. Wondering if it's the same with this. It might be. I did plug this in, but I got nothing but kind of like a staticky screen on this. Put in a tape on this one, and it doesn't play, so it's not responding to any button presses. So, I mean, hey, listen, if we can get this thing to work, that would be great. Okay, let's remove this front cap. These are a little bit hard to take off. It's clipped on this side, but if you just grab it and just kind of twist on it a little bit, move it around, it should just unclip. So there is there's a foam piece right there that's usually missing if somebody was working on this before. Carefully remove this cable here. This is the one that goes up to the circuitry up front. So once we remove that, no audio. Let's just make sure we have everything removed that we needed to. Didn't miss any screws, and it should come apart. So here's the review. It doesn't look like, to me anyway, yeah, usually if somebody's been working on this and got frustrated, they're not going to worry about putting this thing back together. Usually, you know. I've been wrong before. So this is for the LCD panel. Real carefully, just rock it out. This connector here, I had a tool for that. I don't have fingernails. Not very good. I mean, I have decent enough, but I'd rather just show you guys there's a tool here that you can use. It's pretty common on, like, you know, working on phones, splitting things together. Very carefully pry up this brown piece on this connector. Make sure you don't break it. Just carefully, there it goes. So a tool like this lifts up and it just slides right out. So there's that. Let's put that aside. I'm gonna have to work on that too, but let's throw in that viewfinder. Another piece broke off. So the viewfinder is going to be this connector here. It's a lot easier to put this connector in when this board here is out, but I'll just leave it connected for now. There's going to be 3 gold color screws, and these will all be the same. So you can put them in their own little pile. So there was one up here, there's one here, and then the last one here, and the whole assembly, the whole viewfinder assembly should come out. Okay. What's left of it anyway. So there's this, and this is like threaded through, but it looks like we're just gonna have to pull it off of this board here. So very carefully just pull it out, rock it out, and there it is. Broken one aside, and the good one. This thing is off, correct? I just want to see if we get any kind of display at all. Okay. Heard it beep again. Display is out. There may be a power board issue with this as well. There's multiple fuses on the power board controlling different circuits. I still get the, so I guess the screen on that viewfinder seemed to be okay because it's giving me the exact same thing that I saw with the other viewfinder. Try to get this. Come on. There we go. So it just looks staticky. No display, no nothing. And no display on the panel. So I'm going to do at this point a process of elimination kind of deal. So this is the one that we're working on here. This is the viewfinder that came out of it. Let's keep this magnetic screwdriver away from the magnetic tape, shall we? Might not be a bad idea. I'm going to move this aside. Now I know that everything, the tape mechanism didn't work well in this, but everything else did. So if I get any kind of display on this panel with this camcorder, then I'll know that the problem lies on the other half of the camera. So that'll be fun. We may end up having to do a complete teardown and rebuild of the camera, which is fine. Whatever works. The problem is keeping track of what goes where and what. So I'll have to stop and mark stuff with stickers or something. All right, open up, man. I ain't got all day. And power. It's off. So this is the complete panel side of the camera that we're trying to fix. I got a display, a normal display on there, and I got some weird wacky display over here. So there's something wrong with the display on here altogether. Buttons work, thumb wheels work. I only tried a few buttons, but that's all I need. So there's something with the display panel here, but the viewfinder is showing signs of life. Yeah, right there. So viewfinder works. So this is the, okay, so we have a bad display as well as possibly a bad system board over here. Main board over here. Oh, man. Man alive. Could be the fuse assembly. Let's start simple. This I remember. This just lays in here. It's the memory stick. Slot, and it really just rests on, and you just pull it towards the back and it comes off. And just carefully rock out the ribbon connector out of the connector on the board. This will have to come out. This, when I did this last, it was a ton of fun. But this is the connector here for the battery connector and the DC power connector. Oh, there's a screw up here at the top. This one up here and on the inside is the same as the one that's on the where the buttons are, where the display is. It's the longer, slightly skinnier screw. So we'll put that over with those other ones. And this should pop off. These might need to come out. I thought that was all one connection. It didn't need. Oh, there's a screw there. Aha, there we go. I don't recall ever needing to take those 3 little screws out from the inside of the battery compartment. And it just kind of pulls out, just like that. There is the power board here. And I'm probably going to do the same thing as the other one. Is like when I'm trying to take this tape off here, it ends up ripping. Well, that part's done. I just want to get this unstuck from the board on this side. It is. Okay. So it's these 2 screws here. Why not? Why not just try swapping the power board? This will be a Frankenstein camcorder before I put it back together. Oh, that's tiny. These are really tiny. Okay, these are separate. Different ones, so I gotta remember that too. Great. And this actually has a solid connector on the back. It's not ribbon cable, it's direct connection to the board, so just carefully pry that out. And then you have the ribbon cable here that pulls out. And there it is. So we don't know the condition of that. Let me pause at this point. Replace the battery in the GoPro. Yay. And we'll be right back with this. I went ahead and pulled out a known good fuse block from the other camcorder. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it into this one here. What I won't do is install the memory card slot. It's not needed. To plug this side back in, so let me do that real quick. Alright, so I got that side panel connected. Right now I'm going to plug this connector into the power block, and that should be enough for us to test for display. Now remember, the viewfinder does work. The screen still does not, but if we get something different on the viewfinder, I think we're going to be all right. Let's see here. No, it's still staticky. Okay. Still the same symptoms there, so the power board doesn't seem to be the issue. Yeah, it's almost looking like there's one more board here. I'm going to try to keep this together, but obviously we're not going to be able to if we have to replace this whole board here. That's going to be a little bit of work. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. This board here, why not? I've seen crazier stuff happen, but this board seems to be pretty easy to replace, so let's try that first. And I'll remove it from the other one. Okay, everything's unplugged. Let's go ahead and remove it from this one. Anyway, to get to the main board, so let's do that. So that cable has been removed, and we're gonna do this screw here. And these are real tiny screws again. Yeah, if it's gonna be the whole main board assembly, then, you know, so be it. So be it. Keep that there. Not that that's never happened, right? Yeah, I use on eBay to buy things from. I see main boards up there. So I'm wondering if it's just something that happens. So I'm going to remove that. This side. Everything on this side is for this camera. Everything on that side is from the other camera. Interesting little tidbit. This little cable down here did not need to be removed. There's like a little gap right there on the board that goes around it. Alright, so I pulled the other one from the other camcorder. We're just going to throw it on real quick and make sure everything's lined up. There we go. And plug it into place. Throw a screw in for the sake of round, but I'm not having high hopes that this is going to work. But you never know. It'd be cool if it did, right? I mean, less for me to do. Plug it in. Okay. BTR mode, and still the same staticky thing, so that didn't work. It's not. Didn't think it would. All right. Move power again. We're gonna have to. Looks like it. Let us put this. Let's remove this. Put it back on its rightful side over here. Move this over, and I'm gonna go straight to the main board after these messages. No messages. I don't know, could be. Now I'm going ahead and removing the main board from the bad unit. So let's go ahead and start getting that done. Not sure if I needed to remove the camera on the other one. It sure did make life easier though, especially when it comes to this connector. But we'll see. I can get that out. It's coming out. There we go. We'll see. I might. Yeah, sometimes you don't need to take that. It just makes life easier, right? To get things out of the way. But the less you do, the less you have to worry about where things go. So I'm removing the connectors to the tape mechanism. And this in itself, if there were issues with playback and things of that nature, this generally fixes a lot of those problems. These connectors over time, especially the ones that are bottom loaders with the connectors at the top. Even the ones in the bottom, I've seen them go both ways, but they just, you know, you get oxidation on the connectors, and we'll put some of the, put some deoxit on these. It's a deoxidizer for these contacts. We don't need to take that off. Just trying to get that out of the way. Okay. And in order to get to this screw, we had to remove this, which is no big deal because we took it off of the other one anyway. This is the USB port. And this one as well. That was a screw on the top. Just as snug. There we go. Then there were two, yeah, we had the camera out of the way before we can get these guys out. I'd hate to have to remove that whole camera just for these. See if we can get to the, no, I'm not getting enough leverage on it. There, oh, I think I got it. Trying to get to this screw right there. I'm not getting it out. I probably can. Getting it back in, I might have to do some magic or just take the camera off. Oop, where did the screw go? Screw dropped somewhere. Oh, don't you love it? There's the screw for the AV port right here. You can see that. If I find that missing screws, the last thing I want to do is short something out. Ugh. Screws are so tight. Got that one. Find it. We'll find it. Does this? Yeah, there was that screw. So now that's out of the way. We can actually get to this screw here. Jeez. Because things are okay. I'm taking this off. This is just. Move this over here. Trying to maneuver things around, and everything's just flopping around, getting in the way. I think I ate too much for lunch. Feeling it. There was a screw over here, if I remember correctly. Was there? Yeah, there was another connection underneath here. Get this tape out of the way. There. Tape removed. There. Ooh, all right. trying to look at the other one to see if I'm missing something. Board's coming up, but it's not. Oh, there's a screw underneath that connector. Yeah, well, looks like it's unavoidable. We're gonna have to take this camera off. So let's see what we needed to take off from the other one. Looks like this one here, down underneath. Yep, that's it. Oh, there's that screw. Good. There we go. All right, and I think this is just, remember, all right, I don't know if this camera's any good. Remember, we never got that far, but we're just gonna keep these things with their perspective. Pile of parts. Isn't this fun? Oh Lord, look at this mess. If we can get one working camcorder out of this, I'll be happy for today. Just today. All right. Remember, we had to do some maneuvering over here and flip this over to remove this ribbon cable here. Okay. We are going to assume that this board, oh, I see the problem right there. No, I don't, I'm just kidding. This is the bad one, or suspected bad one. So I want to get it way out of the way. All right, I'll leave it here, and I'll be back after we, ow, where am I? Where am I? I think, yeah, that's probably what it is. Battery, right back. And I'm back, and I got some coffee for the afternoon. Yum. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, the camera. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea to put that on. This pops up. This one here pops up. This connector here pops up. Then you put the cable in and press it down. Make sure this is what I'm talking about. This specific connector here, right there. It's kind of like this connector here. The lift up this brown part and install the ribbon cable and press it back down. It's the same similar concept here, but it's vertical, up and down versus clamping on. I don't know if you understood that. I did. I understood it. In you go. That's, don't need to really press it in. It just kind of falls in place, and then making sure it's, you know, all the way in, and just push down on the brown connector. It's different than these connectors here, where they just you just be careful and just kind of press them in, being careful not to put them in at some awkward angle. Much easier to install it with the camera out if the camera will stay in place. There we go. There we go. That felt good. There you go. I don't know if I was directly on it or not. Alright, that was the last screw for that board. Now for the power block. This just do it. Just do it to it. And it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put it on. All right, and this assembly here. Let's see if we get any life. I think we might be ready for a test. Okay. We have power, and on you go. I have a display. I now have a display. Everything's all over the place, but there it is. It is a black and white viewfinder, but nonetheless it is a display. Now, what's the problem with this? Okay, we still have an issue with this. Yep, that is the next part here. So, we're definitely making progress on this. We have life. I guess what I could do, I'm not going to get any audio yet. But I know that the head is super dirty, but I just want to see if we get anything. See if it'll actually play, you know? See, it didn't do that before. Okay. And then play. Oh, look at that. Try not to move this around too much. I have to show it to you this way because the side display panel doesn't work. But yeah, I just recorded that earlier. I forget what I was testing. Yeah, I'd be willing to bet it was that other 730 that decided to quit working. But that's what it was. It wasn't this morning, it was yesterday morning. All good. It plays. I'll run the head cleaner through it once everything is assembled and working. I forget what to move to get this thing open. Oh, it's already open. There it goes. Right. I don't want to jinx myself, but good Lord. I will assume that that other board is bad. It was completely dead. Now, okay. Now it's kind of like, let's go ahead and start putting this together. We're gonna have to remove this half again, so that'll be another part. Is this. I want to keep as much of that as I can because the physical condition of this panel right here is really good. It's one of the better ones I've seen. It's just this floppy loose thing, and of course this display is not working, right? I didn't think, I just had this feeling this video is running super long. That's why I wanted to split this up into parts. So we fixed this side, and what I wanted to do is basically just show you how this goes on. Now you remember when we took this battery and power part off, that these 3 screws didn't need to come out because it's secured by this, and so figured it might be beneficial to install it. Basically it kind of just goes in like that in here, and there may be a little bit of that bottom part went in, but this top part, there is a LZ bracket or something right here. You have to kind of basically almost force it to go in there. Not too much, but it takes a little finessing. Well, I stand corrected. That went right in. Anyway, so that's how it goes together. And oh no, that's not the screw. It is one of these skinny black screws. It goes in here, and let's not forget. Let me go ahead and put that memory reader in while we're thinking about it. Remember, we had to pull it back, so it just kind of attaches, not really clips on or anything. It just kind of it's just in place right there. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I believe this other side might be these 2 screws here that actually connect to those. Yeah. All right guys, part 2 coming up, or 3 or 4.